and I think we might be
All
live now.
right. Welcome,
Hey.
everybody. Gina Scarpino, psychic medium. We got Zach Street here
Hi.
also. We're super pumped to be talking to you. We are talking about 40 Days to Inner Transformation, our new program that we just launched. It starts November 9th at 7 p.m. sharp, and it is going to be 40 days to inner transformation. So there's a lot of good stuff going on there. Are you pumped, Zach?
I'm absolutely excited. I can't wait to do this. I've been like itching to do this and stuck inside for a year, and I'm so happy to do this.
Absolutely. So, this is what the program is going to look like. We are going to have this book right here. This is 40 Days to a Personal Revolution by Baron Baptiste. Many, many props to him. He is one of our amazing yoga teachers of all time. He is absolutely fantastic. He came out with this book, and then Zach and I are using this book, putting a little spin on it also, and it'll be fantastic. This is a group online experience. This is done via Zoom. And what will happen is you will be invited to a private Facebook group once you sign up. To sign up, you visit ginajulianscarpino.com and go under workshops and events. And you will see 40 days to inner transformation. It's $89 for the whole entire experience. And this will be online via Zoom. We will meet once a week on Mondays from 7 to 8 o'clock or 8:15. And we will have weekly meetings over different topics. Each week we'll have a different theme. We'll go through a spiritual lesson. We will go through a yoga practice. We will go through diet, and then we will go through meditation as well. Each week prior to the meeting, we will also have a live yoga practice as well, where Zach or myself will be teaching you. We'll also have meditations, yoga, everything pre-recorded. So this is a full package deal. Zach, what do you want to say about the setup of the program?
So the setup of the program to me is really giving you that at-home experience of building a yoga practice because it's really easy. You can go into a yoga studio and practice with your friends and meet new people, and that environment is incredibly supportive. But right now, these times call for us to change our lives and adapt to the situation. The One of the biggest challenges is establishing your own home yoga practice, and
Mm-hmm.
this will be an opportunity for you to do that in your own space. It'll be a commitment to doing that every day for the 40 days, to meditating, having these things as a part of your lifestyle, being supported by this group, coming back to these
Mm-hmm.
meetings with questions that you have or concern, and we're creating that support for you to make this change in your life. So I'm really excited because not only do we have some live classes that we'll be sharing, but also a lot of recorded material that I'm sharing of meditations, yoga practices of different lengths so that you could do those
Mm-hmm.
at home and then use that as your scaffolding to build your own foundation of a yoga practice and your building. And then after this 40 days, we'll of course stay in touch and we'll do another one in the near future. But you'll have these tools and these experiences for the rest of your life. And there's going to
Yeah.
be a deep, impactful change because if you do the work of doing the yoga will do the work of healing you.
I love that you just said that because here's the thing. Whenever I first started doing yoga, I started doing it for the workout, right? And then little by little, all of these changes started to happen to me. Like I felt less anxious. I felt happier. I chose better things to eat. I chose, more positive people to hang around. And yoga works on you whether or not you want it to. Like, there's no choice. You know what I mean? Yoga will transform your mind, body, and spirit in a very real way. It transformed me Um, to be a less anxious person, to be more present. It also taught me lessons of discipline as well. And but I want to talk about this in a very real way also, that it completely transformed my life to be a happier person. And it gave me a safe space to where if anything was going wrong in my life, I always had my map. I could always go there. And it's like, even still to this day, when I get fearful of what if everything is taken away, I always have my map. And it's like, as long as I have my map to fall back on, I'll be okay. Like, I know that I have that spiritual connection, because yoga is not about, for me, yoga is about a spiritual connection. And it's about connecting in with my mind, body, and spirit, and connecting in with my God and my spirituality, my angels, my guides. And it's that rectangle of a space that I can always go to, that I know that is never going to let me down. It's always going to be right there. And it's a reflection of myself. And yoga transformed me in that way. And yes, along the way in this program, you might shed some weight. You might get healthier. You might make healthier choices. You might become happier and all of those things. Those things will happen. If you're meant to lose weight, you'll lose weight. If you're meant to put on weight, you'll put on weight. If you're meant to let go of spiritual burdens, it'll help you let go of spiritual burdens. And this program does what you want it to do. And the beauty of that is that whatever you're wanting this program to do, it does. And it's like, if you're wanting to shift those blocks out of your life, it'll shift those blocks. It all starts with discipline, and it all starts with this program. And it's absolutely amazing. One of the cool things that I read in here that I totally forgot about, Zach, is the significance of the number 40. Do you remember reading about that?
It's been almost 10 years. I forgot actually.
I know, I know. I read through it the other day and I was like, oh my God. So Jesus walked through the desert for 40 days. Okay. Then it like took 40 days for, you all do not make fun of my non factual things that I'm spouting off, because I really don't remember all of the 40-day things. But it's like, you know, built the ark in 40 days. And then there were all of these different things. I can't find it right now. Maybe I'll find it after when you're speaking. But it was just like, oh my goodness. There is Yeah, I can't find it right now, but there were all of these really cool things that took 40 days. So it takes 40 days to transform, create a habit. It used to be 21. And I still feel like you can really develop a good habit in 21 days. But 40 days, it changes something in you biologically. And the way that that has impact on your mind is pretty huge. One of the 12 laws that we have, I know people are on here and they're like, oh my God, can you give me a reading? Can you give me a reading? Here's the thing, okay? You want to be a more intuitive person? Do you want to hear your loved ones in spirit? Do you want to know which direction to go? Get your butt on a yoga mat, because yoga will make you the most intuitive person ever. When I teach mediumship or I teach intuitive ability, I have all of my students do yoga on a daily basis, because it aligns them, it clears out blocks, and it gets them where they're wanting to go. Question. So, have you thought about, since you and I are facilitating this program
Yeah.
and we're going to be doing the program as well,
Yeah.
because that's super important. Have you thought about what you're wanting it to do for you?
The biggest thing I'm wanting it to do for me is to um, get me out of my comfort zone or push me to be more uh, active and open with my sharing on social media and sharing about my business and sharing about what I do, to push me
Mm-hmm,
to like work harder and make more things and
mm-hmm,
um, and be a bigger loudspeaker of peace and happiness. That's
Mhm.
that's my vision for my 40 days going forward. And I was really like hanging on to what you said is, whatever you're asking out of this program, whatever you're wanting to get, you will get it. And so it's
Oh
really
yeah.
a situation of you get out what you put in. And
Mhm.
it's really a big commitment for yourself and for your happiness and for peace of mind. Those are the biggest benefits that I got out of the program. I
Mhm.
got so much freedom and access to another level of energy in my life, just feeling energized, feeling like I'm ready to get up out of bed in the morning, feeling excited to do
Yeah.
things, feeling peaceful as I do like my regular daily things, as opposed to being overly concerned with the anxieties in my mind. Because if I didn't meditate, I would be caught up in that little vortex of my mind, pulling me into it, making me
Mhm.
think that those thoughts and those emotions that those thoughts are connected to are me. And it gave me the opportunity to create that separation of awareness. I'm aware, I'm watching the thoughts. I'm not those thoughts that are spinning me around in circles.
Yeah, you are not your emotions. Your emotions are separate. And that's such a good point. Are you going to be the fuel to the fire of your emotions? So your emotions are fire, right? Like, are you going to be the fuel to your emotions and you're going to be like, I'm going to put gas on that shit and make it blow up? Or are you going to be like, or are you going to be the water? Are you going to diffuse the fire? And when you look at your emotions that way, like I had to talk myself through some emotions this past weekend to where I was like, girl, you're being emotional, you're being super extra, like take it down a notch. Now, I don't, because I'm an emotion, like I'm a woman, I'm emotional, I'm sensitive, like I'm all of those wonderful things. And I know how to talk myself off of the ledge because I'm not my emotions. And other people can't make me feel any way. And so when you hold that true in your heart and you're like, no one can make me feel a certain way, only I make me feel a certain way.
Mm.
And when that is a rule of thumb, then you can separate yourself from your emotions and be like, okay, what's really going on? Why am I having this emotion? Why am I having this reaction? What am I needing that I'm not getting to where I'm having this reaction? Am I not speaking my truth? Which brings me to our first law of transformation: seek the truth. Okay. When we seek the truth, it is um, it is essential to our being of feeling good, seeking the truth in others and seeking the truth in ourselves. And I've known this since I was a little girl, that lying makes me feel terrible. It doesn't make me feel good, right? So I base my life on what makes me feel good and what doesn't make me feel good. That's essentially how I make all of my decisions. So seeking the truth, my own personal truth, always makes me feel good. And even if I'm withholding, even if I'm not lying about anything, even if I'm withholding, that makes me feel terrible. Like it's awful. I used to try to tell little white lies, and then as soon as it came out of my mouth, I'd be like, "I'm sorry, that's not truthful." So I guess right now, where I am seeking the truth, I don't know if you have something that comes to mind, but where I'm seeking the truth is that as each, like every 5 years or so for me growing as an adult, my truth changes
Mm.
and my truth is ever growing and evolving. And what was true for me or what sat well with me now isn't what sat well with me back then. I have a completely different truth. How
Yeah.
do you feel about
Well, so to me, seeking the truth, I think in my more immediate mind space, when thoughts and emotions are coming up, if I'm interested or seeking the truth of the matter or truth of the situation, then um, already it puts me in like a observing state where I'm watching the emotions and I'm watching the thoughts and determining for myself, is this true for me? Is this thing true? Is this thought true? Or am I just imagining this? If I'm just
Mm-hmm.
imagining it, then I need to throw it out. I need to let it go because it's just
Mm,
making me respond in a inappropriate way. Inappropriate in the
yeah.
sense like, you know, I may I may be angry because I'm actually ignorant to the truth right now. I simply don't know the truth at that
Mm-hmm.
moment. I don't know how this person's feeling about me. And if I'm getting all worked up that, oh, they did this and it means that and it means this too. And because of that, I'm not going to be their friend anymore. Like,
Yep. Hear you. So true, right? So
yeah.
true. I freaking love that. What about be willing to come apart? This is law number two. This is the hardest one for me.
Mm,
Hands down. Everything else is super easy. Be willing to come apart. That vulnerable piece of be willing, be willing to do that. I'm willing, but taking that next step of like actually coming apart, be
mhm.
willing to come apart. I
I
remember the
think
first time I did this program, whew, that was rough,
it
super rough.
was, yeah, I totally feel the same way. It was very rough for me. In rough in the sense that it was me getting in touch with a lot of emotions that I didn't allow myself to feel in my life.
Mm-hmm,
And that was what um that was the biggest benefit. The challenging part was not that the emotions were challenging, it's that I was so unfamiliar with them that I didn't know how to respond appropriately. And a lot of the time I would be crying or, manic and frantic. And then my yoga mat and my meditation would pull me right back together. So it's
mm-hmm,
this process of seeking the truth, going through the steps and being willing to see yourself in a new way, being
mm-hmm,
willing to not continue to operate in the old ways you used to live or I used to live,
mm-hmm.
and allowing that like new life to be lived. It was
Yeah.
really, I would say, like a type of rebirth for me because um, I didn't let myself speak up and be loud and enthusiastic because I was just so deeply conditioned to like shut up, sit down, stop crying, like, be good, you know,
Mm-hmm,
all of those things. And it just gave me the freedom to know I can have that at any point I want. And
mm-hmm.
it's just getting in touch with myself is the prerequisite.
Absolutely. And during our program, Zach and I will be sharing very, very personal stories about how we were willing to come apart and what we discovered in that, and a very personal story of what I went through as a teenager and how I lived my whole entire life not coming apart and always having this facade like everything was okay and not allowing myself to feel emotion and not allowing myself to do that. So you'll be experiencing lots of real stories from Zach and I as well. And the third law is stepping out of your comfort zone. So this is something that comes supernatural to me. Like I never, or I should say, I very rarely feel out of my comfort zone. Maybe in social situations, I feel out of my comfort zone, but like anything else, you know, I'm totally, totally fine. If it's like a big crowded thing, I could be out of my comfort zone. But I'm excited to see where my comfort zone is now and how I can step out of it, like
Mhm.
discover more there. What about you?
For me, stepping out of my comfort zone, when I first did the program, just being in a yoga studio sweating next to people was uncomfortable. I used to
That's
be
so
really
good.
I used to be really concerned with what other people thought of me, and I always liked growing my hair out, but really for the first time, I let my hair grow like long, like to my neck, long, and
Mm-hmm.
like it was, through that program that anytime I used it as a tool. Anytime I thought of other people um, judging my hair or thinking I looked like not straight, then like negative things I used to say to myself that aren't actually
Mm-hmm.
negative, but um, you know, you look like a sissy or a girl, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I I had that as a tool, like, okay, that's not real. I need to drop that, or I need to focus
Mm-hmm.
elsewhere and move on. Because I went through some bullying when I was younger, and
Mm.
that was stuff that kind of just stuck with me and
Yeah.
was very like deeply ingrained in me that I just carried with me, and I didn't know I was carrying it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it'll really surprise people who participate in this practice and this program when, just by the end of week one, you'll find like all of these realizations and things opening up for you. Week two, week three is where the magic really starts to pull through. But that's also where
Yeah.
people will find a bit of challenges. And that's why we're here for you. That's why we're
Mm-hmm.
having these meetings. That's why we're here to support you and each other through this process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And in just a minute, we're going to switch over from Facebook and go to Instagram Live and give Instagram some love and tell them what we're all about. But this program is going to be really great. It is 6 weeks. I think I tacked on one more week at the end so we can really feel complete. But it's a 6 week program. Each week, you will be given a theme. We're going to be talking about that theme. We're going to be diving deep into our lives so that we can figure out what's working, what's not working, and then really focus on what's working and build that up and let all the other stuff fall away. And throughout this program, you're going to learn how to meditate for the first time or how to meditate in a different way if you're an avid if you're an avid breather or meditator or whatever you do on a daily basis. This program is perfect for beginners and even better for advanced because as you advance, you have to go back to the beginning sometimes. And either way, we're going to be practicing yoga together. We're going to be breathing. We're going to be meditating. We're going to dive deep into our lives. And it's time to get serious about our happiness. We're in the thick of coronavirus craziness and we need some good shit going on. Don't you think?
I agree. 100%. 1,000%.
Absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. So if you want to join Zach and I on this amazing 40 days to inner transformation, jump on my website, ginajulianscarpino.com. Go under workshops. It begins November 9th. Registration will close on the 7th. So jump on now and book. We will see you in just a couple weeks. And if you want more of what we're talking about, we're going to go over the rest of the laws of transformation on Instagram. So follow Zach on Instagram. What is your Instagram name?
Good again healing.
Good Again Healing. And then you can jump on my page as well, Gina Scarpino Psychic Medium. We'll see you on Instagram in just a moment. Bye, guys.
See you guys.